Before anything changes around you, something has to settle within you. Not excitement, not confidence, not certainty. What settles first is a decision, a quiet one, a steady one, a decision that does not announce itself or seek approval. A decision to take responsibility for the one thing you actually have control over, the way you live, think, and respond. Most people spend their energy trying to control outcomes, trying to manage opinions, trying to shape how they are seen, praised, or remembered. And when those things don't move the way they want, they feel frustrated, defeated, or lost. But the strongest people in history, the ones who endured pressure, chaos, opposition, and uncertainty, did not begin by trying to master the world. They began by mastering themselves. And that is where leadership truly begins. Not in titles, not in influence, not in being followed. Leadership begins in the unseen choices you make when no one is watching, in the discipline to govern your reactions, in the refusal to let circumstances dictate your character, in the ability to remain grounded when everything around you is unstable. We live in a world that teaches us to look outward first, to blame outward forces, to wait for better conditions, to believe that peace, clarity, and purpose will arrive once life becomes easier. But life does not become easier. It becomes clearer when we do. And clarity does not come from noise. It comes from stillness, from reflection, from the courage to examine your own thoughts, habits, and motives honestly. If you want to become a better leader in your home, your work, your community, or simply in your own life, the first question is not, how do I influence others? The first question is, how well do I lead myself? Because a person who cannot govern their emotions will always be governed by them. A person who cannot discipline their desires will always be driven by them. And a person who cannot stand firm internally will always be shaken externally. This is not about being rigid or cold. It is about becoming anchored, rooted, steady. There will be days when pressure presses hard on you, when expectations feel heavy, when you are misunderstood, criticized, or ignored. And in those moments, the world will try to pull you into reaction, into anger, resentment, fear, or distraction. But quiet strength is revealed when you pause instead of react, when you choose restraint over impulse, when you answer chaos with clarity. This is not weakness. This is authority. The kind of authority that does not need to raise its voice. The kind of authority that comes from alignment between values and actions. The kind of authority that grows slowly but lasts. Many people are motivated by hype, by external rewards, by applause and recognition. And when those things disappear, so does their drive. But lasting motivation is rooted in values, in meaning, in a deep internal commitment to live a certain way regardless of the outcome. When your motivation is internal, setbacks do not break you, they refine you. When your purpose is clear, obstacles do not stop you, they shape you. When your discipline is steady, progress continues even when motivation fades. Because motivation is emotional, discipline is intentional, and discipline is what carries you through the long seasons where growth is quiet and results are delayed. Every meaningful life includes these seasons. Periods where effort seems invisible, where consistency feels unrewarded, where progress happens slowly and privately. This is where most people quit, not because they are incapable, but because they mistake silence for failure. But silence is often the place where strength is built. It is where patience is trained, where humility is formed, where resilience becomes muscle memory. And resilience is not about enduring everything without feeling. It is about choosing not to surrender your values when things are difficult. You will face moments where doing the right thing costs you comfort, where staying true to your principles makes life harder, not easier, where shortcuts tempt you with faster rewards. But shortcuts weaken character. They offer speed at the cost of depth, comfort at the cost of integrity, appearance at the cost of substance. A meaningful life is not built quickly. It is built deliberately, through daily choices, through repeated actions, through a commitment to improvement that does not depend on recognition. Ask yourself, are my habits aligned with the person I want to become? Are my reactions shaping the future I say I want? Am I living intentionally or simply reacting to what happens next? These questions are not meant to condemn you. They are meant to awaken you, because you are not powerless. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a participant in your own formation. Every day you are becoming someone, whether by design or by default. And the difference between the two is responsibility. Responsibility for your thoughts, responsibility for your actions, responsibility for the way you treat others, especially when it would be easier not to care. True leadership does not dominate. It does not control. It does not force. It influences by example. It speaks through consistency. It persuades through character. It earns trust through steadiness. People are drawn to those who remain calm under pressure, who act with dignity under stress, who do not need to perform their values because they live them. If you want to lead well, start by asking less of others and more of yourself. Not in perfection, but in honesty. Not in harsh self-judgment, but in clear self-awareness. Notice what unsettles you. Notice what triggers impatience. Notice where your energy leaks into distraction or resentment. These are not flaws to hide. They are signals inviting growth. Growth is not dramatic. It is repetitive. It happens when you choose restraint again, when you return to your values again, when you recommit to discipline again. And over time, these small decisions shape a person of depth, a person who does not need approval to move forward, a person who is not shaken by criticism, a person who understands that meaning is found in how we live, not in how we are seen. The world does not need louder voices. It needs steadier ones. It does not need more outrage. It needs more wisdom. And wisdom begins when you learn to govern your inner life with care, intention, and humility. You do not have to have all the answers. You do not have to feel confident every day. You only need to remain committed to becoming someone who acts with purpose, dignity, and quiet courage. And that commitment, practiced daily, changes everything.